If someone walks up to you today and then hands you $5,000 in cash, no conditions, just money, what would you do with it? Maybe upgrade your phone, maybe book a trip, maybe buy something you've wanted for a long time. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. But here's the uncomfortable truth most people never think about. For the majority of people, that money would quietly disappear, not in one big mistake, but through dozens of small decisions. A dinner here, a gadget there, a few things that feel deserved, and a few months later, life looks exactly the same as before. The hidden difference between consumers and builders. Most people ask one simple question when they receive money. What should I buy? But people who truly understand money ask a completely different question. They ask, how can this money start working for me? That single shift in thinking is one of the biggest differences between people who stay financially stuck and people who slowly build freedom. It's the difference between spending money and deploying money, between consumption and construction. Two lives, one decision. Let's look at two people. Mark lives in Chicago. He just received a $5,000 tax refund. He decides to upgrade his lifestyle. A new iPhone, new clothes, a few nights out in downtown Chicago. For a while, life feels great, but 6 months later, that money is gone. Nothing from it continues working for him. Now let's look at someone else. Sarah lives in Austin, Texas. She receives the same $5,000. Instead of upgrading her lifestyle, she upgrades her earning ability. She invests in learning a skill, maybe digital marketing, maybe video editing, maybe coding, maybe content creation. The first few months feel slow. Nothing dramatic happens. But 2 years later, that same decision begins generating income again and again. Same money, two completely different futures. The financial trap. Almost everyone falls into one of the most dangerous illusions about money is something psychologists call lifestyle inflation. As income increases, spending increases right along with it. A nicer car, a better apartment, more expensive habits, and suddenly, earning more money does not actually change your financial life. You're simply running faster on the same treadmill. This is why some people making $200,000 a year still feel financially stressed. Because the problem was never just income. It was how money flows through their life. The long game nobody wants to play. Here's something most people don't want to hear. There is no reliable shortcut to sustainable wealth. The people who build real financial freedom usually don't get there through one lucky break. Instead, they do something much less exciting. They make slightly better decisions. Over and over again, they learn, they build, they invest in things that grow. Skills, assets, systems, small streams of income that slowly expand, and over time, those small decisions compound. When money stops being the goal. At some point in this journey, something interesting happens. Your thinking changes. You stop asking that, how can I make more money? And you begin asking a much more powerful question. How can every dollar I already have create more value? That shift changes everything. Because money stops being the finish line. It becomes a tool that helps you buy something far more valuable. Options. The option to choose how you live. The option to choose how you spend your time. The option to walk away from things that no longer serve you. And that journey rarely begins with a fortune. Sometimes it begins with something much smaller. Just a decision. Not to let money pass through your life without purpose. If this perspective made you think a little differently about money, consider subscribing to Mentivorapulse. On this channel, we explore the ideas, mindsets, and strategies that help people build a life with more clarity, freedom, and control. Because real financial change doesn't start with a bigger bank account. It starts with a different way of thinking.